What's good to the Indians in the ghettos of the hood? I got some more important information for y'all you don't want to miss. Grab your papers, your pens, take goddamn notes. You dig what I'm saying? This right here is an interview between Martin Luther King and Alex Haley, 1965. All right. Haley made a statement. He says, your dissatisfaction or your dissatisfaction with the Civil Rights Act reflects that of most other Negro spokesmen. According to recent polls, however, many whites resent this attitude, calling the Negro ungrateful and unrealistic to press his demands for more. Now, my boy King responded, and he says, this is a litany to those of us in this field. What more will the Negro want? What will it take to make these demonstrations end? Well, I would like to reply with another rhetorical question. Why do white people seem to find it so difficult to understand that the Negro is sick and tired of having reluctantly parceled him out of those rights and privileges which all others receive upon birth or entry in America? I never cease to wonder at the amazing presumption of much of white society, assuming that they have the right to bargain with the Negro for his freedom. Like, bitch, you got your nerves. This continued arrogant rattling out of pieces of the rights of citizenship has begun to generate a fury in the Negro. Even so, he is not pressing for revenge or for conquest or to gain spoils or to enslave or even to marry the sisters of those who have injured him. What the Negro wants and will not stop until he gets is absolute and unqualified freedom and equality here in this land of his birth, and not in Africa or some other imaginary state. Not in Africa or some imaginary state. You dig what I'm saying? The Negro no longer will be tolerant of anything less than his due rights and heritage. He is pursuing only that which he knows is honorably his. He knows that he is right. Few white people even today will face the clear fact that the very future and destiny of this country are tied up in what answer will be given to the Negro. And that answer must be given soon. Now, that was a bad motherfucker right there, you know what I'm saying? Basically letting you motherfuckers know this is our motherfucking land here in America. We didn't come from no goddamn Africa. And we tired of these motherfuckers saying this and that and that and this. What would make us satisfied? Bitch, you leave our fucking land. That's what's gonna make us satisfied. We want our shit back, man. Simple and plain. You dig what I'm saying? Y'all go check that out, man, on thedailybeast.com. Interview of Martin Luther King and Alex Haley, 1965. Now, let me go ahead and back that up real quick for my other boy. All right. Frederick Douglass, right? It's called The Folly of Colonization, January 9th, 1894. Let me see what Frederick D had to say about this. You know. Okay. But now I come to another proposition. Held up as a solution of the rare problem and this I consider equally unworthy. With one just disposed of, the two belong in the same low-bred family of ideas. I mean, they trash, right? It is the proposition to colonize the colored people of America in Africa. Hold on, man. I thought colored people were from Africa. Oh. It says, or somewhere else. Happily, this scheme will be defeated. Both by its impolicy and its impracticability. It is all nonsense talk about the removal of 8 millions of the American people from their homes in America to Africa. So who really wanted to enslave who? The expense and hardships, to say nothing of the cruelty attending such a measure, will make such success impossible. The American people are wicked, but they are not fools. They will hardly be disposed to incur the expense, to say nothing of the injustice which this measure demands. Nevertheless, this colonizing scheme, unworthy as it is of American statesmanship and American honor, and though full of mischiefs to the colored people, seems to have a strong hold on the public mind, and at times has shown much life and vigor. The bad thing about it is that it has of late, owing to persecution, begun to be advocated by colored men of acknowledged ability and learning. And every little while some white statesman becomes its advocate. Just like today. Those gentlemen will doubtless have their opinion of me. I certainly have mine of them. My opinion is that if they are sensible, they are insincere. And if they are insincere, they are not sensible. They know they ought to know that it would take more money than the cost of the late war to transport even 1/2 of the colored people of the United States to Africa. Whether intentionally or not, they are, as I think, simply trifling with an afflicted people. They urge them to look for relief where they ought to know that relief is impossible. The only excuse they can make for the measure is that no hope for the Negro here, and that the colored people in America owe something to Africa. Now you see what's going on? Africa thinks we owe something to them, and they think that we should ship our people to Africa by the millions. But check this out, man, because this is in effect right now. A lot of people don't know what's going on. He says, this last sentimental idea makes colonization very fascinating to the dreamers of both colors, but there is really no foundation for it. They tell us that we owe something to our native land. That sounds well, but when the fact is brought to view, which should never be forgotten, that a man can only have one native land, and that is the land in which he is born, the bottom falls entirely out of this sentimental argument. Africa, according to her colonization advocates, by no means modest in her demands upon us, she calls upon us to send her only our best man. You see how arrogant this bitch is? She does not want our riffraff, but our best men. But these are just the men who are valued and who are wanted at home. It is true that we have a few preachers and laymen with a missionary turn of mind who we might easily spare. Sell our preachers. uh, kiss ass niggas, woo 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 to woo. Yeah, they can go. Some who would possibly do as much good by going there as by staying here. Sorry, nigga. But this is not the colonization idea. It advocates want not only the best, but millions of the best. This bitch, god damn. Better still, they want the United States government to vote the money to send them there. They do not seem to see that if the government votes money to send the Negro to Africa, that the government may employ means to complete the arrangement and compel us to go. Man, that's a powerful motherfucker. So basically, this is in the 1800s, right? And Africa been calling for us ever since. You know what I mean? Now, y'all see why this come home back to Ghana shit is going on, or oh, you African American go to Africa. You know, all this shit is getting pushed now so heavily in the media, right? Because it's time for Africa to get their deal, which they did with the United States of America, right? To get the motherfucking, their Negroes over there to build up their fucking country. Africans know that you don't come from Africa. You're not an African, right? Now, let's look up this word colonization, right? Colonization. There we go. Colonization. Colonize. Let me look up colonize. Settle with colonists, bring stop to the economy, get reform. Not what I'm looking for. Okay, here we go. Colonization now, right? It says act or process of colonizing. State of being a colony. 1758. Noun of action from colonize. In U.S. history, the movement for assisted immigration of free blacks to Africa. Well, hold on. The word this what colonization mean? The movement for assisted immigration of free blacks to Africa for the formation of colonies there. Now y'all ain't hearing me, right? The American Colonization Society, organized in December 1816, hence colonizationalist, one who favors colonization of emancipated slaves and free blacks to some other place. 1831, right? So that brings you back to that Frederick Douglass, like, you know, damn. So these people really want us over there in Africa. That's the whole motherfucking plan and scheme, right? But who are these slaves, right? Because, so if we're not slaves, who the fuck were these slaves? Let's check this out. Let's look up the word slave. Slave, right? Person who is chattel or property of another. From enslave in 13th century. Now let's scroll down. Okay, boom. Originally Slav. Y'all see that right there? Originally Slav. See Slav. What the fuck is a Slav, right? Let's see Slav. Right? Slav sold into slavery by conquering peoples. What is a Slav? Slav. Medieval Latins, Sklavus, 1800, what a speech. And find no speech of communities, Greek, boys, race and language. Okay, now, Slav. Let's look at these people, right? See how they look. Slav people. Okay. Present-day Slavic people are classified into East Slavs. You know, the other Russians, the Belarusians, the Ukrainians, the Moravians, Slovaks, right? Macedonians, Serbs. Now, look at these people, right? Slav. So if we not the slaves, like I said, who the fuck are the slaves? And the original word is Slav. And when you look up these people, Slavs, that y'all really need to do y'all research on, look how they look. You know, these just general pictures on the web. And look at these people look like the so-called Caucasian of the day, right? Middle Eastern, you know, people like that. These are your Slavs. These are your so-called slaves right here, right? These people came over to our land, gave us their motherfucking title as a Slav, aka slave, and took our title as an American Indian, right? Or American. Now, the 1828 definition of American are the Aboriginal people, Aboriginal copper-colored people found in America by the Europeans, right? Now applied to the descendants of the European. And I guess now the term Slav is now applied to the descendants of the Americans. See how they flip shit on us? Shit crazy, man. Well, people need to really go and do the research, man, and get into this stuff, cause hey, man, unless you get on code, your ass doomed. We got a 2020 census coming up next year. If you don't know what's fucking going on, if you don't mark what's right, they can get your ass up out here. ICE is already ready. The military is already ready. Everybody is already ready to deport your ass. While you sitting back laughing at these goddamn Hispanics getting thrown back to Mexico, get ready, because your ass going back over there across that water. You know what I mean? You so African, you so black, you so proud. Okay, well, they're about to show you what that means, right? And I guarantee you'll be crying to come back to this land over here. So by 2021, if you ain't got your shit right, hey man, I'm holler at you. And guess what? I'm just gonna be on the sideline eating popcorn, shit, popping firecrackers, because hey, I told you so. So everybody need to get on their genealogy, find out who they are. Everybody need to start looking into these archival records, get all these old documents, and get on your stuff, man. Because I'm telling you, this stuff is real serious. This bloodline heritage is nothing to play with. So find out who you are, get on your stuff, and so that you can always be right here in the land of the milk and honey, aka America. I'ma holler at y'all later on, man. Peace.